Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So as you guys saw in the previous video was delivery day. Obviously the Porsche 911 came in and this thing is absolutely insane. I am just absolutely happy about this. I've been wanting a 911 for so long and it's great to finally have one. And as a freaking daily, this thing is absolutely insane. It is really fast, it's really awesome, and yeah. So I did want to do like a little walk around of it, checking out some all the features and this and that, talk about some of the other things I plan on doing to it. And one of the big things, as you can see, it is the Carrera 4S, which the 4 is all-wheel drive and the S means it's like the kind of trim up with the bigger engine. The engine that it has is the 3.8 flat 6. If 3.8 sounds familiar, or if you've seen it somewhere, you might have seen it on the side of a GT3. So this pretty much has the same engine size as a GT3, but just a little bit less horsepower. However, that's where a lot of modifications come into play. This car is not just going to be a beautiful, clean, sleek 911 like this. It's going to get a lot of mods. It's going to get a lot of power gains. And I'm really excited about that. So yes, in theory, this car will have a lot more power than a GT3 and all-wheel drive. And I still have a sunroof. But for the exterior, I do love these taillights. Obviously, it's the factory white taillights, and then even has the, so the 4 models, so the all-wheel drive have this light that goes across the back. The regular models do not. The bumper comes all the way up. So it's really awesome that whenever this is on, that light just bridges all the way across and looks so good. And obviously the quad exhaust, it does have the active sport exhaust on it, so I can have it has the valves and whatnot, so you can flip it and it'll open it up a little bit more, which honestly, all that's probably going to come out anyway, and it's going to be a crazy modded exhaust. So stay tuned for that as well. Got the little wing up right here because to me, I'm not a huge fan of just the simplistic kind of rounded shape in the back. I really like having that wing, and some of them do have the little duck bill. This does not, so it does have the kind of the automatic active arrow wing, so I just kind of keep it in the up position because to me it just looks a lot better. And then obviously this is where the air gets pulled into the engine. And actually, let me show you guys a feature with this real quick in case you were ever wondering. So when you come in here, there's lever for the front trunk and a lever for the back. The Caymans have a rear trunk. This one does not because it has back seats. So as you can see, the back seat's right there, and this little hatch flips up, and this is where you have your coolant and your oil fill, and then you can see the intake and everything, and then there's that 3.8 right there. So in order to do the oil change, you have to pull this out. Your oil filter is located right up under here. So yeah, that's a little different, but I think it's pretty cool. And the fact that all this is kind of moving and whatnot, and yeah, it just closes, clicks into place. So much different than any other car, which I think is pretty cool and pretty interesting. But yeah, like I did say, you can see the back seats right there. Obviously, this thing's going to get window tint. That's happening in the next 30 minutes, actually, he's going to be here. So I'm filming this video before the window tint guy gets here, and he does a really good job. He does mobile, and he's who I use for all the window tint every time I need it, because as you can see, this thing you can look right through and there's no privacy whatsoever. And with this interior, I do want to keep it protected. But before we get into the interior, I do want to point out these really nice wheels that did come with. These are 20-inch rims, and man, these things look amazing. But I will be getting new wheels at some point. I don't know when, but man, it's a shame to get rid of these ones, but the new ones will be so much better. And then moving on to the front real quick, this thing looks so good. I just love it. The big 911 classic oval headlights. And I don't know if these are factory or if they're an add-on, but it has this really nice mesh right up in here. And it kind of fits well, but there's some spots where it kind of just doesn't look like it's factory, and obviously the screw right there, and there's another screw there, but I don't think that's factory, but I actually kind of like it. That mesh does definitely help with keeping bigger debris out. Something that my Cayman had that I kind of wasn't a fan of was the big giant openings, because rocks and stuff would fly in and just beat up the radiators in there. And then obviously this does have the front plate mount, which as you can see, there's 2 screws on either side going right into the front bumper. So that's a huge disappointment, but it is what it is. This car has a lot of features that I would not be able to have otherwise, so yeah. And I actually did get a key cover as well, so that looks pretty cool. But let's go ahead and pop open the front trunk here, which has a ton of space. This actually just popped out. It's a fix-a-flat kit, so it's kind of interesting that that just popped out. It seems like it doesn't really lock in too well, but this is obviously the front trunk. A lot of people might think it looks kind of small, but I've actually fit inside of one before. And then there's these panels that come off, and then there's like a little air compressor and stuff in there, and battery and everything. But yeah, this is the front trunk in a 911, which is pretty big actually. You can fit like a whole grocery cart full of groceries into that. But let's go ahead and move on to the interior, because this is like the main reason why I got this exact car right here, because this interior is gorgeous. So let's start off here on the door. I mean, as you can see, like this material, it kind of looks white on camera, but it's actually a very, very light tan color, and I absolutely love it. And then it was actually saying it was like a dark gray, but it almost has like a slight brownish look in person. It's like it kind of looks gray, but kind of looks like brown, which this color combo to me is just beautiful. Like when you look at the whole interior, it makes like, it looks luxury, but still looks sport and performance. The tan interiors look kind of more like comfort, and the all black look really sporty, but then it hides all the details. And this one has a lot of this beautiful carbon fiber in it, which looks insane. I have not seen any others with that. And look at that carbon. Even the steering wheel is not the upgraded GT3 steering wheel, but it still has carbon fiber on it, on the bottom and up on the top, with the leather on the sides, which is exactly how I would have done it. And then that nice white stitching here, which looks really clean. I really love that. And it does continue all the way up over the dash. So then as we move in here, obviously you have the gauge cluster there, and then you have the red clock right there, which looks really cool. And then more carbon fiber, and it does continue onto the other side. It is here in the center console as well. So I love all that carbon, and on the side of the shift knob. So this is such a beautiful spec. It does have the perforated leather, and then whenever you turn on the ventilated seats, all the air just blows right through that, which is so nice. And then you got a ton of seat adjustments, but also the red seat belts. I absolutely love this touch right here. And then moving into the headliner, you have the Alcantara, and then it goes all the way down the A pillar. But man, such a nice, actually all the way down the B pillar as well back there. And then obviously it does have the back seats, which are kind of pointless for a full-size adult. Maybe if you have kids and you kind of needed to make it work, you probably could, but I would not really suggest it. These are super convenient that they actually can fold down. So you pull this little lever, that flips down. So if you have any suitcases and stuff, you can kind of pile those up in here, and it's actually a really wide space. And then it has this little lip right here. So if you do put like a suitcase on there and you have to hit the brakes, they're not going to fly into the seats. And then obviously some storage compartment underneath. So if you have this back and you have something valuable and you wanted to maybe kind of hide that too, you could probably put that right there if you don't want to put it in the front trunk. And it does have these little floor mats in the back, which still have the plastic on it. But yeah, the back seat's kind of worthless, but also kind of interesting. And I did go ahead and pick up WeatherTech floor mats, which as you can see come up really high on the sides. I want to keep this interior nice and protected, but this is a daily car. So I did get this not as like a weekend kind of luxury car. I got this to be daily driven, so I definitely wanted to at least protect it while I'm daily driving it for the driver and passenger side. But if you guys don't know, there's also cup holders in this, which is pretty awesome. Those pop out kind of aggressively. And if you guys do notice that these look really familiar from like recent car unveilings, this is like the same exact like little, what do you call it, cup holders that are in the Lamborghini Revuelto, which is the new V12 hybrid. Uses the same exact cup holder system, which is actually pretty funny. But yeah, this thing looks so good, so amazing. And it has the Burmester sound system in it, which is really cool. I love the way that like the whole speaker system is like shaped with a little pocket right there, and then the way it's like multi-level, so you have like this like front face and then this sits back a lot further. It does have these little pockets here in the door, which are pretty convenient. And man, just everything about this car is so good. And then even like the sunshade on the top, you can even close that if you wanted to, which is really convenient. Or then if you wanted to, you could always open it all the way up. This is awesome having a 911 with a full-blown working sunroof. And then when you come to the outside, that's what it looks like. So that actually doesn't look too bad. So the fact that I could have like this setup and have GT3 performance but all-wheel drive and still have a sunroof is pretty awesome. Man, this thing is so cool. And this little like, wind buffer actually definitely needs to be cleaned. I did not realize how nasty that looked. So yeah, obviously this is driven with the sunroof open quite a bit, but it actually doesn't look too bad having that kind of like up on top like that. It still kind of looks pretty good though. But in the center console, here's where we have like the sunroof controls, which actually are like nice and sleek. I really like the way like all this kind of fits together. We have the active aero wing. We can click that, keep it up. We have the sport exhaust. We have an eco feature, which that's probably going to always remain off. Obviously Sport, Sport Plus, and Sport Plus is only with the Sport Chrono package. So if you guys do know about the Sport Chrono package, yeah, this has it. And if you don't, look it up. It's pretty interesting, and it's actually not legal in the US anymore. At least the cars that are grandfathered in still have it, but no new cars can have it. The adaptive suspension, and then traction control, which is probably going to stay on at least for a very long time. And then the heated and cooled seats for both sides. And I like how all these controls are just kind of like up out of the way. It has like a little mini screen for like the AC and everything, but it's like everything's kind of like up out of the way. Fits nice and clean and sleek in the little package right there. And we do have not one plug, not two plugs, but we actually have a third one up under here as well for if you need to plug stuff in, phone chargers, etc. This one does not have the smoking package. My Cayman actually did have the smoking package with another 12-volt port. So for a two-door car, I had 4 ports, which is pretty crazy. But something I do love about this car is, like, filming wise, you can actually see a lot of the interior. It actually looks really nice. Obviously the Alcantara and everything. This car is going to be like a great YouTube car, a great kind of filming, vlogging, having some fun. Speaking of that, let's actually go for a little drive, have a little bit of fun. I do actually have to run to the post office, so I'm going to drop off some packages. But in the meantime, we can actually hear some of that exhaust opening up. We got to start up on this thing, and yeah, let's go have some fun. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it out in a few different modes. Right now I just have it like a normal mode with the valves closed. So you guys kind of hear what that sounds like. And got some traffic here already. It is the early afternoon. Ooh, this thing takes corners well. That's a pretty good sounding exhaust. Alright, now the valves are open. Let me just get on it a little bit. Yeah, it definitely sounds a lot louder. Man, that is such a good tone. I love that so much. And then put it in sport mode. Sounds amazing. There's a little burbles. I don't know if you guys can really hear that very well. Ooh, this thing sounds just absolutely amazing. Holy cow. And it's so quick too. That all-wheel drive is just unreal. Man, that just hooks. Man, this car is just absolutely insane. It just hooks and just launches. Some burbles there. Man, let me know what you guys think of this thing. It sounds amazing. It looks amazing. This car is just awesome. All right, guys, so put down in the comments down below what you guys think of the new Porsche 911. I am absolutely just happy, satisfied with this thing. It is absolutely crazy, and I love it so much. It's like just like all the little pops and creaks from just being so hot. But man, I absolutely love this car so much. I'm so excited for all the videos that are to come. There's gonna be a lot of modifications, a lot of craziness coming. It's not gonna stay silver for long, so definitely hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all the upcoming videos, modifications, and I'm even gonna do a lot of how-tos on it as well as I go along with modifying this car. But if you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. But as always, thank you for watching.